Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kareem Supreme doing this short documentary about Arthur Shawcross. This is the building he used to live in at 241 Alexander Street. Across the street used to be Genesee Hospital, but they tore it down. I remember when I was a kid, I used to see Arthur Shawcross walking his dog. It was kind of weird because, he just was weird looking. He used to wear these short, looked like polyester shorts with white socks pulled all the way up. It's crazy. I used to see him coming out of this door right here walking his little dog. And I also used to see him riding a girl bike. Now, me and my mother stayed down Alexander Street. We stayed at 353 Alexander Street. This was the mid-'80s. But yeah, this is the apartment he stayed in on the 3rd floor. It still looks spooky. Even back in the 80s, this place looked spooky. I heard from other kids that it was infested with bats. It was crazy. But yeah, Arthur Shawcross used to be riding a girl bike up and down Alexander Street. He used to also hang out at the Dunkin' Donuts on the corner of Alexander and Monroe. He also used to hang in this building. He also used to live in this building right here, the East End Apartments. But I remember seeing him coming out of here. Let me see, the Normandy Brownstone. Yeah, I used to see him coming out of here with that girl bike with the basket on it, with the ribbons and flowers on it. It was just weird, But that was the mid-'80s. He killed like 11 women. He said, take them down by the Genesee River and kill them. It was crazy because, he was targeting prostitutes up and down Lowell Avenue. And a lot of people in this area thought he was a nice guy. He didn't bother anybody. He just looked weird. Look at this place. I believe his room was up there on the 3rd floor. Right in this window right here. But yeah, it was weird seeing him riding a girl bike. I was about 7, 8 years old. We used to call him E.T. But yeah, I'm gonna go visit the site of where he used to frequent down by the Genesee River. He got the name Genesee River Killer because that's where they found all the mutilated bodies. He was like the Jeffrey Dahmer of Rochester. You know what I mean? And he did time in prison in Watertown for killing and raping some kids. And that was in 1972. And he did time. He did about 15 years for that. They let him out on parole, and they bounced him around from city to city. And all the residents in the cities they bounced him around to complained. They didn't want to live near a serial killer who killed children. So they moved him to Rochester, New York. And back then, people in Rochester, it was killers all over the place, but they didn't know how gruesome Arthur Shawcross was, because the crimes he committed against the kids was in the 70s. And there wasn't no internet back then. People heard about him. Now that I look back on it, people heard about him, they just didn't care because there was a whole lot of other violence going on in Rochester. And it's a bigger city than Watertown, so, people just kind of like, shrugged it off. Like, oh, he did his time, whatever. A lot of people just wasn't interested like that, you know what I mean? But I'm sure there was a lot of people who probably protested or didn't agree with him living in Rochester, but who knows? They moved him here. They bounced him around up and down Alexander Street, and they moved him into this spooky place. I think he lived here first in one of these apartments. And then they moved them here. But let's go to the Genesee River. Get one last look at this spooky place. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kareem Supreme. I'm over here at the historic Maplewood Park in Rochester, New York. Just staring at the Indian Trail. This is where Arthur Shawcross, this is one of the places he used to come to drop his mutilated victims' bodies off. He used to come down this Indian Trail. I remember back in the days, back in the late 80s, early 90s, me and my friends used to come down here. Now at the bottom of these steps wasn't here, it was just a long hill. We would just slide down and climb back up. At the bottom of this hill is the Genesee River. But now they built these steps so that way you could just walk down the trail. I think they built these steps in the early 2000s. But yeah, this is one of Arthur Shawcross's dumping places. He would just dump the women off down here. It's crazy. Yeah, this Maplewood Park. Yep. What's up, big dog? Remember back in the days, we used to come sledding. See these hills? We used to go sledding up and down these hills. I remember we used to come here at night. Me and my Uncle Richard. We used to come here at night in the wintertime and go sledding. Because during the day, it used to be crowded. Oh yeah. But yeah, this is where Arthur Shawcross used to bring the dead bodies. Another interesting fact is this used to be an Indian village. See that? Kasashigan Indian village at the falls nearby. Yep. And Arthur Shawcross used to go across the street by the YMCA and dump his dead bodies. We're gonna go over here. They found one of the dead bodies behind the YMCA. It was a woman named June Cicero. We're gonna go over here and check it out. All right, here we go. We're at the YMCA, the Maplewood branch. I used to play basketball at this YMCA back in 1992. There's the swimming pool. That building right there is the swimming pool. They built that in the early 90s. And yeah, this YMCA been here for about 100 years. Yeah, right across the street is Maplewood Park, the Rose Garden, beautiful Rose Garden. And down here is Lower Park Falls. Let me show you. This is where Arthur Shawcross used to go. This is where they found the body of this is where they found the body of June Cicero. Prostitute. And you know, once he killed her, it seemed like his career was over. They found her body behind the YMCA, and they found other bodies down here. But yeah, I ain't going down there. We used to go down there a lot when I was little to stand on the top of the falls. The waterfalls, believe it or not. Every now and then the city would turn the pressure down and you could stand on the falls or walk across. Yep. Yep, back in the 90s. So how y'all doing? Yep. Good old Arthur Shawcross. The Genesee River Killer. Got people going down there. I've been down here so much during my childhood because we lived, after we moved off of Alexander Street, we moved to a couple of places, and then we moved down here by the light on Avenue E. There's the old Kodak building, Kodak office building. Now back in the 90s, Kodak was booming. The headquarters is on State Street, and they had another one on Lee Road, and they had another big plant on Ridgeway in Lake Avenue. I mean, not Ridgeway, Ridge Road, West Ridge Road. But this Kodak was the office building. That was back when the city was booming at an all-time high. And everybody and they mama worked at Kodak. My uncle worked at Kodak 30 years. Yep. Just being over here brings back childhood memories. Now, I remember hearing about the woman June Cicero, because by that time it was like 89, 90, I believe. And we lived down the street on Avenue E. And everybody was talking about the dead body they found over here. And the other dead bodies they found down the Lower Park Falls. Go over here one more time. I'll show you a glimpse of the falls. Oh, the people already went down there. I'll show you a glimpse of the falls. There's a canyon. Beautiful sight. Can't believe I used to actually, me and my cousin Lamont used to walk across those falls when the pressure was low. We also used to take our dates down here too, just to have fun, you know, drink wine coolers when we were teenagers. But yeah, this is a beautiful area. I remember one time we went down there and we saw a parachute. Somebody jumped out of a plane and left the parachute there. It was crazy. It was an open parachute back in 1993. Yep. Hit the like and subscribe button. Peace and prosperity from the Flower City, Rochester, New York. Oh yeah, and did I mention? Check this out. I'm at Cobbs Hill Park, Rochester, New York. Beautiful park. Another place where Arthur Shawcross used to come and hang out. And he used to trick with his prostitutes down here. But anyway, yeah, I forgot to mention Arthur Shawcross in 1971. He made himself a model prisoner by helping out some inmates during a prison riot. I believe it was in Attica, New York State Prison. And they gave him kudos for that. And that's what led to his early release. And he left a bunch of notes behind right before he died. He wrote a bunch of crazy letters to his so-called friends and colleagues. I don't believe his friends. To his his so-called friends and colleagues. I don't believe his friends, you know, but whoever he was affiliated with, you know, he left some weird, some crazy letters. And the thing about Arthur Shawcross, a lot of people don't realize he had a messed up childhood. He claimed, excuse me, he claimed his mother molested him, gave him oral sex and all that. She denied it. And, you know, he was a Vietnam veteran. And he admitted the fact that during his Vietnam tour, he was involved. He was in a unit. That stationed in Vietnam, and they raped a lot of Vietnamese women. He talked about this a long time ago, back in the 80s. I mean, the early 90s, sorry. And there's a movie about that called Casualties of War with Michael J. Fox. And a lot of people said that those characters was loosely based on the unit that Arthur Shawcross was in. You know, they were raping Vietnamese women and doing all kind of crazy stuff, and they all came back home crazy. But yeah, the movie was Casualties of War. Check it out when you get a chance. Kareem Supreme signing off. Peace.